Y'all, I have a confession to make. I'm an idiot. It was very late at night and I was trying to upload videos and I was like falling asleep. I was in town and I set 100 videos to upload into Dropbox, which is the app that I send video clips to Aaron through. But anyway, I uploaded the videos, well, started the process. Then in my sleepy stupor, I was like, oh, I'm gonna delete some videos to create more space on my phone. And I selected those same 100 videos, y'all, that I had just set to upload and just cleared them all out, deleted all of them. So poof, they're gone. And it just happens that it's like the 2 to 2.5 days around Crater Lake. But I did get some pictures. I do take a lot of pictures, and luckily there is a tiny bit of video footage from Crater Lake area thanks to Perk, Dibs, Milestone, and Would-Be Butters, but his phone I think is kaput. So thank y'all to my friends who who at least have a tiny bit that I can share with y'all. But I promise y'all, I really tried to get my hands back on this footage. I even downloaded some software and tried on a computer to restore videos that had been lost. That's what the software claimed to do, but they lied. It didn't work. But I'll kind of give you a rundown of what happened. So as I left Fish Lake, I left a sign that said, you know, where the next closure actually began, heading north. And so we headed north, and when we exited the trail just past mile 1800, so I crossed 1800, then a nice man named Mark picked us up and took us to Crater Lake National Park. He was insistent upon buying us dinner, and little did we know he had also planned to have us put up for the night. So me, Perk, Milestone, and Ragnar got to stay at the lodge. So thank you so much to Mark for your hospitality. It was a wonderful stay there and really helped lift our spirits with, you know, the hassle of the fire closure. So we can't thank you enough for helping us deal with the logistics there. The day that we got to Crater Lake that evening, I couldn't even tell that there was a lake there. There was just nothing. It was just smoke. And somebody had to tell me, yeah, the lake would be right there. There was a small piece of trail north of the highway into Crater Lake National Park that was still open, so we went ahead and knocked that out because we are insistent upon getting every single open mile of trail regardless of these fire closures. After that small section, we went to the north end of the closure and began hiking north, which is pretty much where my video footage picks back up. You know, there wasn't a whole lot to see at Crater Lake, but hopefully I'll get to come back someday when the smoke has cleared. But this will always be a good memory, you know, this crazy year, the year of ice and fire. Well, luckily, I am finally at the north end of the closure of the PCT that goes through Crater Lake. So thankfully, I've got almost 120 miles before I hit the south end of the next closure, which is around Elk Lake. So I've got a good 5 days or so before I have to get all stressed out over that again. So some nice trail angel set up a cooler, obviously a water cache, for through hikers out of the kindness of their hearts, just because. And the way people repay them is to, you know, not just maybe leave the bottles that this person originally had here. I mean, the big jugs need to be refilled. But when people start leaving their personal trash and gear that they've decided they want to discard, that's just not okay. You don't do that. That's not how you say thank you to somebody that was nice. And I know some folks will be like, "Oh, Dixie, you know, you're making a big deal out of nothing. Those people are gonna be pulling up in their car and they'll be able to pack out the trash, and so it's not a big deal." Well, if it goes that way, maybe not, but it's not their responsibility. It's your responsibility to pack it and pack it out. But an animal can come along and, you know, tear up all that trash that somebody's left sitting there, strew it all over the forest, and now the person who was just trying to do something nice for everybody has to make the decision: do I go and pick up all this trash that's littered around now, or do I leave it because it's not my responsibility? So, you know, it's just better to take care of your own business and don't put it off on somebody else. There's a bird up there throwing stuff down.
She's just tearing bark off and tossing it down. First I thought it was a squirrel throwing pine cones.
Here I am standing at the highest point in Oregon on the PCT. So not the high point of the state of Oregon, but just the highest point that I will cross over on the PCT right here. Quite a bit of change from Forester Pass, which was the highest point in California on the Pacific Crest Trail. And I'm really glad of that. This is so cool again. Probably one of the coolest things I've seen in Oregon so far. This stream right down here is the last stream or water source at all on trail north, heading north for like 24 miles. I'm gonna have to camp tonight and cook dinner and cook breakfast and then water for 24 miles on top of that, just the hiking part. And I only have like 4 liters, so it's time to ration. So I was hiking this morning and I was like, why does all of this look so different than it has been? And I feel like in a better mood and things seem prettier. And then I realized there's no smoke. Maybe a little bit, but not as bad as there has been. This is awesome. So pretty. Man, it felt so good to pass that 1900 mile marker. 2000 is gonna feel really good. I'm gonna have to do something special for it, like get a pedicure. Just kidding, they'd turn me away, but you know, something. And I'll probably just, you know, take a picture and eat a Snickers.
Oh, I type IR and it goes Iraqi.
After all these miles, I'm finally hiking around a cool chick. Her name is Milestone, and she moved around a lot growing up and actually lived in Mexico for a while, but she currently calls Portland home, and she's an emergency room nurse there. And she's through hiking this year with her dog Ragnar, and it's just been awesome having them around. So I'm really glad to be hiking with them, and hopefully will be for a while.
Ragnar has a new shirt. It says, "How can I annoy you today?" It's got SpongeBob on it. He's acting so awkward. So we have encountered up ahead
Wait, Irish
another
IR
closure, and we are trying to
IRSH.
message somebody on InReach
Sorry, I'm
because
such-
we don't have service. But luckily Milestone has an InReach.
Hey.
So we're messaging somebody to hopefully come get us at a dirt road where the closure now has been extended to. Here is where the fire.
This.
Yeah,
I mean, have you guys ever had this?
you walk the dirt road.
Yeah.
Well, luckily,
it.
I mean, yeah, and I knowing enough,
Taped off. Do not enter.
Look here. There's nobody here.
Yeah.
Like, who's doing this?
All right, so this is where we're getting back on the trail here. We're gonna have to double back to the spot and actually pass it tomorrow, head north. But luckily Jeff, who is gonna do this section with us, brought us here. So it's an 11-mile section south to the northern boundary of one fire. Like, we're getting around the closure that he picked us up from, and we'll touch back and then we'll head back north. It's kind of nice to have somebody new in the crowd, especially somebody as generous as Jeff, even if it is just for today. But we've really enjoyed the Zero at his house. He ran us all kinds of places, got to go to REI, and trade out my socks. My Darn Tough socks had holes in them. Went to the grocery store, got new insoles because my plantar fascia was bothering me, and I was able to kind of baby that a little bit and roll my foot out with a frozen water bottle, you know, because when can I ever freeze a water bottle out here? So I really feel refreshed. I feel like I've almost had a week off of trail, and it was just so nice of Jeff and Lucy and their 2 boys to bring us into their home and, you know, treat us like family. I mean, they were basically like, treat it like it's your house, you know, bathe, do laundry, do whatever you want to do. And it's just been wonderful. And yeah, thank y'all so much to Jeff and Lucy and their boys for letting us come and crash the pad for a while. Tonight we are staying at Big Lake Youth Camp. It is in, like, just off of this small open section of trail, and they're letting us camp there tonight, and it's pretty nice. And we'll have outlets and can bathe again if we want to, although, I mean, I just had a shower this morning, so 2 showers in one day, that would just be weird. That's where some of the smoke is coming from, up there. Dixie. And that's the direction we're heading. Wow. Holy smokes. This place looks like something from, like, I don't know, Total Recall, or is that the right movie that I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Where he's like, because he's on Mars and he...
That's Total Recall.
Yeah, looks like Total Recall. I mean, kind of looks like blue corn chips. Hackers can only think in terms of food. I'm starting to believe that. But it's pretty cool looking. How in the world is that thing living? Bless its heart. Only one of its kind for miles around. This little section was kind of a rush. And those firefighters were certainly surprised to see us. He was like, well, this area should be closed. And we're like, well, if it was, we wouldn't have come through, you know. And I even had to show him the sign showing that, you know, it says Highway 242, and it's like closed there and south. Anyway, so they still let us go up in the observation tower and take a look at the fire. And anyway, it's gonna in total be like a 26 to 27 mile day for really just like 13 and a half or so trail miles. It really was cool to be that close to the fire. I mean, I know a little risky, but I mean, if those firefighters had really been concerned about it too much, they would have told us to leave immediately. But so anyway, Another section checked off, and tomorrow we move forward. Today we are hiking north now towards another fire closure, of course, and but we're about to pass mile 2000, so that's pretty exciting, and I'm glad that actual mile 2000 isn't in a fire closure area, so we get to celebrate that. So that is pretty cool. That is awesome.
I said, does that ruin it?
No, not at all. Ow! We are at 2,000 exclamation point, and Milestone has got some goodies for celebration. I mean, what more could you want on trail to celebrate 2,000 miles? Like wine and chocolate. Brilliant.